Baby, with Doug Baldwin himself. You trying to keep a straight face. You can't even keep a straight face in that post-game interview. Hey, Deion Sanders, we all right?
You know I can't, and you know I'm ready for this interview.
You ready for this?
I've been ready, man.
So why did you get offended when I said you guys were all right? It wasn't a personal attack.
Oh, I know it wasn't, Deion, but, you know, I remember when I was playing in Little League football, man, I remember picking off a pass and high-stepping into the end zone, you know, like you did. I looked up to you, man. I still do.
I appreciate that.
And, you know, it's crazy just to be sitting here next to you.
I appreciate that.
But it's even crazier that first-round draft pick, right, number 5 overall.
Yes, sir.
Right, would throw shade at some undrafted cats that's just out there trying to do what they do.
It had nothing to do with your draft status. It has everything to do with now. I don't get into where you were drafted at because I'm not about yesterday. I'm about today.
Right.
And when I talk about a person on television, it's not a personal thing. I don't personally dislike you. I said I got love for you guys. That was a prerequisite. But understanding, I don't think you guys are on the level of a Calvin or AJ, but I love the dog in you. I was just being honest.
And I respect that, and I always appreciate the honesty, you know. And I'm not gonna sit on here on TV and tell you that I myself or Jermaine Kearse are the best receivers that ever played the game, because we know, you know, is a lot that goes into it. However, you know, when you say we are right, I just need some evidence to back that up.
Right.
Can you help me out with that?
Well, if I'm saying statistically speaking, if I'm saying, okay, do you guys warrant a double team? Are you guys that guy that they game plan and say, you know what, we got to put Revis on that guy right there to make sure we stop him. We got to put Patrick on that guy to make sure. Do you warrant that? That's what I was talking about.
Yeah, and that's easy to answer. You know, Deion, let's say you was a defensive coordinator, right?
Right.
And you going up against the Seattle Seahawks.
I got 8 in the box. I got to stop beast mode.
Right. We're gonna get there. Let me get there. So, are you going to double team a receiver in an offense that throws the ball the least amount of times in the league? Or are you going to use that extra defender to stop the #1 rushing offense in the league?
That's what I'm going to do. But also, if I had a grown man out there, now I got to deal with him. I'm not saying you guys aren't, but you're not putting up the numbers to make me say, hey, that's a grown man out there. You're going to have to deal with him.
Speaking of numbers, let's talk about numbers for a minute.
Okay.
So, you would say like Demaryius Thomas, Calvin Johnson, Antonio Brown, those guys are top, those elite receivers in the league, right?
Yes,
and I agree with you. I think those cats are one of the best.
They're pretty good.
They are really good, you know, but I've had 170 odd targets in 2 seasons, right? Those guys have that amount of targets in 1 season.
Right.
But yet we still produce at the same level in terms of catch percentage, yards per catch. All of that is the same once you add the targets into it.
Ain't nobody got time for all that mathematics.
Well, see, we got time for it. We got time for it. If you want, we got to talk about the fact stuff.
We going about what are you doing? How do you cause havoc? Am I concerned about Doug Baldwin? And let me tell you something. I like the dog in you. I like the swagger you have. I like that you checked me at the conclusion of the game and looked at that camera and say, so we all right? Because you hadn't made plays. Now, if you hadn't made the plays towards the end of the game, now you'd have been the GOAT. But you came back and you made plays. I love that resilience.
And we appreciate that. But as I said, we're going to compare apples to apples. You know, we do what we do in this offense because that's what we're supposed to do.
Speaking of this offense,
you're
getting ready to play against one of your former teammates.
Yes, sir.
And Darrelle Revis. Tell me about those matchups.
Brandon Browner being one of the most physical guys at the line of scrimmage, you have to do everything in your power to make sure he doesn't get his hands on you. Darrelle Revis being one of the most cerebral, one of the most patient defensive backs I've ever seen on tape.
Well said. You
have to make sure that you bring it, and you have to be aggressive in your routes in and out of your cuts to make sure that he doesn't know where you're going. So it's going to present a very difficult challenge for us. But you know, you talk about dogs. We over here, we're excited about the opportunity because when you get to go against the best, you got to bring it.
Now you know, since you checked me, that puts you on Front Street. Now everybody's saying, okay, who is this kid checking prime like this? So now they saying, oh, he has to go up against those 2 grown men. So everybody's watching to see just what you do. Because you know when you start talking it, baby, you got to walk it.
Like I said, I ain't going to sit up here and tell you that I'm the best receiver that's ever played the game, but I'm working towards it. But at the same time, I know what I'm capable of doing. You know, so we're going to see what happens on Sunday, and we're going to bring it just like we've been bringing it the entire season. We're going to go out there and try to do what our goal, which is make Marshawn Lynch the MVP of the Super Bowl. And if we do that, obviously we're going to win.
That's very selfless. I like that. You say your goal is to make Marshawn Lynch. And tell me about it.
Like I said, it's our offense. We focus on not just catches. We don't focus on statistics. We focus on winning games, winning championships. And for us, that's running the ball and controlling the clock and playing stifling defense. So that's what we're doing. And so on third down, which if you look at the stats, we have the most efficient receivers on third down.
The most efficient. I like the way you said that. You made eye contact when you said that.
Yes, sir. And if you look at that, that's what we do. And won the Super Bowl for the second time in a row. So we're going to just keep doing what we do.
Let me tell you something. I truly, if I offended you, I apologize.
No offense taken. No offense taken.
Because I got love for you. Anything I say on TV is not personal. It's just my opinion. But I got love for you. Florida boy, I got love for you. You got that dog in you. I appreciate you, man. I want you to go out there and actually win that car. Because I got love for you like that. I'm proud of you, man.
I appreciate that. Hey, next time I come, bring you some cleats.
It's the field right there.
I'm ready. I got mine in my backpack. We could go.
It's a field right there.